to the world that they live in, and in doing that, hopefully you get a better product from the students when they're doing their work. Okay, I'm doing this from a point of view of what I currently am teaching. I'm currently teaching what is the old specification of Btec. Having looked at everything that's going to be coming into place, or some teachers might be looking at the 2012 specification already for level 2. It's all the same stuff. I'm not sort of looking at how specifically you'll teach intricate detail content-wise. It's more just giving students opportunities to do things in a slightly different way, and how you can store that data, how you can get students to reflect on things, and how you can get them to improve their grades, and not have to worry about constant remarking of certain things, because in lots of students they sometimes just miss a couple of things out because they haven't written it down, and actually through a conversation with them you can develop those ideas, and that then audio recorded becomes the evidence. But we'll go into the details of all of that in a second. So hopefully that's okay for everyone in terms of where I'm coming from. Lots of these ideas I'll use on level 3 courses as well. So if you're teaching level 3 Btec, you can use them there, and I'm sure they're transferable to sort of all walks of life. If you're teaching core PE, I'm sure you can use it all in those areas as well. Anyway, we'll crack on. What I've got, hopefully, if it's working, and hopefully you can still see my screen if I do this, is I've kind of just brought up the specs to sort of show you how I have pinpointed the things that you can do. So this is the specification for fitness testing. It's one of the core modules. It'll be obviously a core module next year, but it'll be examined in a different way. But like I said, this is just sort of to get through some ideas of what I've done, how I've done it, how it looks, and how you use the devices to get this recorded as evidence. So I'm just going to go through just a few examples. If you've got any questions, if you've got any thoughts about particular pieces of coursework that you've got at the moment that you might find difficult to get across from the kids, difficult to evidence, or they're quite dry in terms of delivery, then please just ask away, and I'll try and think of how I might do that, or how I've done that, and if I haven't covered it already. Okay, so to start with, the top section here, so describing fitness requirements for achieving excellence in sport, and then explaining the requirements for achieving excellence in sport. Historically, we've always done this in school, of creating posters. So you give them the fitness requirements that they need, and it's to do with the components of fitness, and they come up with a poster that some of the artistic kids will do this in a way which tends to look very nice, but essentially all they end up really doing is cutting and pasting stuff from the internet. If they haven't done it well the first time, you end up with something that's probably just sketched down on paper, and it kind of loses its relevance to how you want it to look in the real world. So what we've tried to look at now is creating something that you would actually put out there to a local sports club or to a local primary school, so that they're actually thinking about how they present it to a particular body. In order to do this, I've looked at using, first of all, something called Zapped, which is based on devices, but also something which I've recently got into, which is Small. So let me just bring back my device. So this is Small. This is it's all based on the internet. You can use it on devices. I tend to do the creation of the work that I'm doing on my device. It works just as well on the internet, off the internet. Nice thing about this is if you don't have iPads or iPods for every member of your class, they can go onto computers and do things. And it's really, really simple. So if I was to now go to create a new flyer, as it loads, you get the options of how it looks. They're just background, so you can actually just choose anything. So I'm just going to choose news bulletin, and it kind of gives you a layout already made for you. So if I was to look here, we're looking at fitness components. So straight away, I've got the makings of a poster or something that I could use for your students, which might struggle in terms of layout. You've got a sample layout that they could just add into. Other students could be creative and develop those things. And it is as simple. It's just changing the work that's there. So if you click on edit, you can see you can type away in the box and type away with your responses in there. How this works well with the students is actually it gets them to think about how they're presenting their work and gets them to be quite creative with what they put in. And because they end up with something which looks quite nice and something that can be shared around to other students, or on Twitter or Facebook, then they kind of have that sense of ownership and they're quite proud of the work that they do. When we do posters, it tends to be, I'll hand out some paper, they'll draw a picture or something, and however it might be, and it gets filed away somewhere, and no one really gets to see it. So you think from a student's point of view, are they going to do their proudest piece of work if they think it's going to get put away somewhere, or at best put up on the classroom wall? In doing this, it's something which is out there. It's live on the internet. You can see at the top, because it's created on the internet, you can send it out anywhere. It's not an app as such. This is accessed on the internet. It's called smore.com. So if you just have a look at the top there, so www.smore.com. It's an online tool, but you can make them on your devices. So like I said, if you had a bank of iPads, if you had a bank of iPods or something, or even other devices students can have access to, they can create these, and it is just a case of editing each section. So the beauty of doing it on your iPad or iPod is when you click on Add Picture, it gives you access to your camera roll. So they could be doing something practically, take the pictures live and put them straight into this, so they're creating their coursework on the go. So like I said, I've done this for components of fitness, or would do this for components of fitness because we finished teaching it. And the idea how I would use this now is that they would start to put together what they're looking at, and then when we're doing the practical, they would take photos of people demonstrating the use of speed or the use of flexibility or something, and then write a little bit about what those components are, how they're used in excellence in sport. Again, that's just one way. You may do this as a homework, you're sending them off to do something. Again, they've got access to this at home, and it's live. So that's just kind of one use for Smore. I'm sure you can think of lots of other ways that you could possibly use it in your delivery, or how it might work in your activity. Copy and paste finished work, or does the work have to be kept on the internet? You can copy and paste it if you want to. What we do via the Btec course when we're delivering things now is I'll cut and paste the URL onto something. If anyone needs to see it, they have access to it. It's an exercise to try and cut down on paper that gets handed out. I'm sure we're all in the same boat, that students hand in a folder full of work, there's that chance that work could go missing. The last thing you want when teaching a Btec course is to tell a kid, we've lost your work, you're going to need to redo all of it again. So the beauty of having it done on the internet, done in a digital way, is it's always going to be there. Unless they delete something off of their own piece of work, they're always going to have it. You could take screenshots, you could print them out if you really need to keep paper copies, but Btec aren't insisting on paper versions of everything, as long as you can show evidence of where it is. We had our centre review before Christmas, and we've been doing this for the last couple of years, and they were more than happy. As long as, if they asked for the work, could you show the work? Yes, you can. Then keeping it online is more than okay as far as they're concerned. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, if you've got it filed online, perfect. Ours is the same. Everything on ours is kept in online situations. In terms of adding video, you can if you have a look on my screen now, that was a basic setup. So that's what you would give to all students, and you might say that you've got to fill all the boxes in. But if they want to go a little bit off the line, and I'm sure lots of students do, you can see down the bottom there's lots of different things that you can add in. So plain text, add a new title, so underneath where it says sample title, that's how it would look. You can embed a link, so if they've done some work elsewhere, so Meg, where you're saying that your course is all filed online, if they've got lots of other work which is done online and it links to this, they can just add in a link to it and it would display on the site in this way. And then obviously video, audio, pictures. If I click on the video link, it asks me for a video URL. Now I'm going to talk about sort of using YouTube and those things later, but basically what it does is you put the video URL, so wherever it's stored on the internet, and then upload it into there, and it will upload as a video, and you'll see it as a video on there, and just play it through YouTube within this. And then obviously pictures, audio, you know, and the other things then, a gallery of pictures if you want to put them in, or something more about the person, so the bio, which is quite nice for them to fill in. It gives their piece of work, you know, their ownership. They put their stamp on it, put a little bit about them and what they're doing, and those sorts of things. So that's that. In terms of an example, if I show you, this is one that I've done. This isn't student created. This is one I've done for teaching the course, but you can see how it builds. This is what it would look like. So this is something I was doing at the moment on assessing risk at level 3, and I was away from the group today, so just shared this with them to do a little bit of distance learning, and you can see how it all links in. So